Mm. Happy Batman Day, everybody. Batman Day, and today we're going to be talking about Detective Comics 1027, the 1000th issue of Detective Comics celebrating the first appearance of Bruce Wayne, the Batman. Let's talk about it. Fun fact, guys. Yes, I know the camera changed, but if I get 100 subscribers, I'll get a backdrop instead of just a backyard wall. So, fun fact. Just to preface this video, buy this. I think it's not only a fun thing to have as a comic collector, but if you're not really into comics, this is a great table book. It's a great coffee book. It has about, I want to say 12 to 11 different stories, which is definitely worth the price you're paying by basic, like, modern day comic standards. And I just want to say that all of these stories are very competently written. All the art is very well done, and all the scoring and notes that I give here today are basically just my own personal preference on what I like in stories. So let's just get on with this. Let's just dive into this. Our first story today is called Blowback, written by Peter J. Tomasi and art by Brad Walker. Now, this story has a fantastic intro. I love how it's written, and it's kind of Batman on sort of this mundane 9 to 5 case where somebody's kidnapped him and he has to figure out how to solve it. But he calls back all the people and the villains in his life who have just tested him and made him who he really is today. And at the end of the day, it wraps up and has a very cute moment. And I enjoyed the story. As for the art, I think it's pretty well done. There's some great use of lines here that I can really appreciate, especially in movement, but some of the facial expressions were a bit off for me, but still, it was totally enjoyable. Next story is The Masterclass, which is written by Brian Michael Bendis and with art by David Marquez. This one is my favorite. It's the Bat family working together, and that just brings me pure joy. I love when the Bat family is working together and they're just happy and fun, and Bruce is just recreating the family he lost, and it's just so cute, and I love them being together. The plot is silly, but it's fun. But the only issue I have with the story is the fact that there's no Duke, Cassandra, or Kate, though. Like, where's the Signal? Where's Orphan? Where's Batwoman? Like, where they at, huh? I love the highlights, the details. I love Marquez's, not only his facial features, but the way full bodies are drawn and how movement is portrayed through his art. So, great story. One of my favorites. Many Happy Returns, written by Matt Fraction and art by Chip Zdarsky. This is a wonderful portrayal of kind of the cyclical sadness that is the Batman Joker eternal struggle, how he'll always rise to just like, thank you for giving me something to do, and by thanking you I'm gonna destroy the city. Like, it's such a sad but true portrayal of how, unless something changes, shout out to Harley Quinn and Batman 99, unless something changes, this is just a cycle that's going to keep happening. So I just loved that portrayal, and it was so sad. And as for the art, there was a lot of simple use of lines and an awesome use of like shadow, and it was simplistic but not in a bad way. It got the job done, and I really liked this art. One is Rookie, written by Greg Rucka with art by Edward Russo. This one I feel is the most polarizing of whether or not I like it or dislike, and I feel like no one's talking about it, which is a little weird, but that's fine. It's this hopeful story about that straight out calls Gotham, as well as other police departments, thugs. It's just a gang of corrupt thugs, and that there are people out there that are trying to do the good thing, but at the end of the day, heroes like Batman will say, hey, you're a good person, you're trying to do the best thing, and we got to stick together and fight these corruptions, and at the end of the day we can do this and win. And there's something inherently very hopeful about that, yet it's a falsity, because that superheroes don't exist in life. There are definitely heroes, but not superheroes. As for the art, I don't normally am into this style, but just for the story itself, it really fits. So I enjoyed it. It's kind of this ugly, rugged, kind of pastel-y, choppy art that I think accompanied the story very well. Next is Ghost Story by James Tinian IV and Riley Rosmo. Ignore me looking at my notes. Now this story, I didn't really care for Dead Man, but I thought it was very cute, showing how kind of there are ghosts everywhere. Their memory is not entirely something that is always dreading upon his psyche. It's also a source of inspiration and hope, because it can be many things. So the fact that his parents are like, they're always going to be there to guard him is very cute. This art, Robin looks really cute in this art. I have nothing else really to say. It's fine, it's enjoyable. I don't know how long I could read it for, so I'm glad it was in a short form. This next story is Forte, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick and art by John Romita Jr. I love a Bruce Wayne story. This is a cool thing that shows how Bruce and Batman can kind of work in tandem. Bruce being the public, corporate guy that like, I'll meet with the guy, while Batman takes down his little operation. And I really enjoyed that. The writing here was really solid, and I enjoyed the dialogue. The only issue I had with this was I'm not a fan of this type of art. I know it's in Bendis' Superman right now, those books. I know it's in there, but I don't know. Everyone looks like a caveman. Everyone looks like a caveman. And I hope you enjoy it, but it's not really my cup of tea, This one is Odyssey, written by Marv Wolfman with art by Emmanuel Lapacino. Go in the comments and tell me how poorly I pronounced that. This was a really fun story. I enjoyed kind of like the simplistic nature of the story, and it was very cute. And I love the callback to kind of how the Waynes have really helped, foster peace, prosperity, and advancement within Gotham. So that was a fun callback, and it's a cute story. I don't really have any negatives. This next one is Detective 26, written by Grant Morrison with art by Chris Burnham. Now this one was actually the funniest one. The punchline here was just, it worked really well just for my sensibilities, and the art just really fit kind of the presence and style this story had within it. So overall, while this wasn't my favorite story, it was fun. It was funny, it was cute, and I enjoyed it. This next story is called Legacy, written by Tom King with art by Walter Simonson. For some reason, this story was really confusing to me. I had a hard time understanding it, and I had to read it maybe 3 times to get what was going on, which wasn't like a, oh, I get it, haha moment. It was more like a, oh, he has cancer, and so it's okay. Oh, okay. So the story itself is serviceable. It wasn't exactly my favorite. And I thought the art was decently well done. I thought it fit the Batman motif, and it reminded me of a New 52 art style, which isn't exactly detrimental in any way. It's just the vibe it gave off. So it was not too bad story, not too bad art. This one is, as always, written by Scott Snyder with art by Ivan Reyes on pencils. I love the Bruce Gordon relationship and kind of the idea that Batman can go out and do cosmic shit and have an impact on an existential level, but he'll always come back to Gotham, and he'll always truly be the protector of Gotham. And I appreciated that, and that was a really cool thing to point out. And I liked the art. I loved how the cameos and the depiction of the Justice League, and how it's kind of like you don't know the details when you see these things and you live in Gotham, but you just know that Batman's out there and he's doing what he sets out to do, it was a cute story, and I appreciated it. Next is Generations Fracture, written by Dan Jurgens and with art by Kevin Nolan. This story is kind of my least favorite within this collection. It didn't really get to me. I thought it was cute how Calendar Man dressed people up, but I didn't really understand the ending and that little teaser where check out where this happened. Like, the story didn't grab me. It was somewhat interesting, but if this was a standalone thing, I wouldn't be interested to pick up the next issue. The art itself was fine. I didn't really have any issues here or there. I enjoyed the art. Last but not least, the story within this collection is A Gift, written by Mariko Takamaki and art by Dan Mora. Now this one was depressing as hell. This one is the only story that I guess you could say is presently at focus, being concerned with the current Joker War crossover thing that's happening in the comics right now. And Batman has very little resources. He's working out of an apartment, and I thought it was interesting how this was written and how Batman can affect the cops. And with Gordon, it was in a very positive way, and with Rocky, it was in a positive. But this way, it was just like what happens when Batman f's up, and how it affects people. And I don't know how I feel about this story, but I think I like it. I think I do. The art was wonderful. I love the colorist here. I love the lines and how everyone's drawn and the expressions. Like there's a panel of Batman just scared and worried, and it's just so wonderful, and I love it. I loved the art here, and it was really good. And just for note, tomorrow Bonvillian is the color, and way to go, Tamara, because I loved the color here. It was so cool. So overall, aside from me mispronouncing names, looking down at my notes, and giving bad opinions, I would say you should 100% pick up this book. If you don't like this cover, there was a bunch of different variants that came out. I want to say at my comic book shop, the first one was gone, but there's a bunch of them, and I think DC knew that this would be a popular thing, so you can just go online and buy your cover, or you can go to the link in my description and use the comic book shop locator to find a comic book shop near you and support local businesses, if that's something you have the ability to do so. If not, everyone gets it. Don't be upset. We got you. I got you. I'll keep you in the loop. If you want me, guys, to keep you in the loop on all Batman, that's me trying to segue into an end card. End cap. See, I'm not a YouTuber. My years of study as a journalism has not prepared me to be a YouTuber. So if you liked that review, let me know what you think. Did you have different opinions on the issues, the art? Did you play a drinking game with how many times I misspoke or pronounced a name wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, do not like and do not subscribe, but please comment. I'll check you later. Take a shot every time I mispronounce a name.